Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Condensed version of Old School. We'll be here for about 30 minutes, and then we'll hand it over to our young gun for the night, and they'll get you from 6 to 7, and then 7:30-ish. Nick Sainer will be back at it with the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman calling tonight's championship game as well. So good on them. Great work. Congratulations, Nick Sainer. Once again, great job calling games. He's carried the mail through all of football season. Greatly appreciate what he's done and what he brings to the table. Young man, well done. And then he'll carry that tonight, and then we'll set up because, there's not much turnaround here. Football season ends, we jump into basketball season, and we'll jump into basketball coverage and all the way through to boys and girls state titles. We'll carry all of those tournament games, and as we did last year, we'll buckle up and we'll get through it. I won't ask.
It's a lot.
I won't ask. Well, last year we did 32 games in the tournament, and I think that's the mission this year is to cover. We will carry and call each game that's at PBA this year. However that goes.
That's what we do.
So we'll bring that to you, because that's what Lincoln Sports is about. When the tournament's here, we cover it and bring it to you. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text on Honda Lincoln Hotline. The Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You want to be a part of what we're doing? Let us know. Come on through. Hang out with us for a little while as we head into one final championship game. Nick, if you would please, would you let them, Nathan, would you tell them please about the Mercado?
The Mercado certified Piedmontese beef. I believe 84th and Havelock is the location. As Jay always says that he likes the strawberry sorbet. I will be honest, I haven't tried the strawberry sorbet, but I've heard nothing but good things. So
nice.
On behalf of Jay, I will recommend it.
Yeah.
Because I trust his judgment.
I can co-sign that.
All right.
That is an actual thing. So just informed, talk to Harrison, who will run it bigger than the score with Peter Ferguson. Will take us from 6 to 7. And then he'll do a slight short pregame from 7 to 7:20-ish. And then 7:30 kickoff. So there's your ticket weeknight. I want to say thank you. There's some kind folks out there who found out I was going to Orlando with to cover and watch the basketball team, Huskers basketball team, as they head down to Orlando for the ESPN Invitational. And it's right there, right there at Disney World, right there at ESPN. Like they've got a sports facility there, and it's kind of a full-on deal. Nebraska will go down, and they know that they're going to play Oklahoma on Thursday. But the field, the bracket is set: Florida State, Memphis, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Seton Hall, Siena, and Stanford. So that's quite the lineup. And then as the tournament breaks down, and there's a way to kind of figure out how this is going to play out, I will go down tomorrow, and then I will call in from there for the pregame show on Friday. Of course, the Huskers play on Thanksgiving, and folks thought it was curious and interesting for Oklahoma and Nebraska to play on Thanksgiving Day, as they used to do in football back in the day. But they will do it in basketball. It will be a 4 o'clock tip here Thursday. The way the day is set up, Florida State and Siena will open at 10 a.m. Thanksgiving Day. Then at 12:30, it'll be Ole Miss and Stanford. 4 o'clock, Oklahoma and Nebraska. And then 6:30, Memphis and Seton Hall. Nebraska, if they win, will play the winner of Memphis and Seton Hall at 7 o'clock on Friday. If they lose, they will play the loser of Memphis and Seton Hall at 4:30 which is interesting because Nebraska football plays at 3. So there'll be some crossing of streams and several TV screens up in different places to do that. So, prepare yourselves. You got some channel surfing or multiple screens. From the text on Nate, Nathan, here's Bryce says, how about them Hokies?
I'm not sure entirely what he's referring to. I'm assuming the fact that they lost in the final to Charleston. And that actually, DP, I don't know if you knew this, that was the first time Charleston won the Charleston Classic.
Ever.
So it was, yes, I was upset for my Hokies. But at the same time, you know what? Good for Charleston. You host this tournament nearly every year and you never win it. So you know what? Good for Charleston. Unfortunately, my Hokies dropped it. And DP also, though, how about them Hokies? They'll face off next week against the Lady Huskers, ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah, where's that game?
It is in Virginia Tech. It is in Blacksburg.
Well,
it'll be a fun one.
No
though.
desire to go?
No, that's a bit too long of a trip for me.
Yeah.
It's a hike to get out there too, because I mean, it's kind of inconvenient to get into Blacksburg as well.
Yeah,
Like you fly into Roanoke, which is a smaller airport. You can fly into Charlotte, I guess. I had a buddy who's flying in out of DC, but Roanoke, but it's just such a small airport. I mean, you're going to pay quite a bit of money to get into Roanoke. Is the only problem.
What else is what? I mean, Charlottesville can't be the
Charlotte's about 2.5 hours. Which is still, that's a hike.
Well, I mean, here's what's funny. I mean, people who live in Virginia don't go to Blacksburg.
No.
Like it's a drive down into the Appalachian.
No, you don't end up there on accident. That's for sure.
Even when you mean to go to Blacksburg, you don't always get there directly.
Right.
Like there's no.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Virginia Cavaliers basketball team for knocking off 2 top 20 teams as they go. And that's pretty cool to see that happens. I know that you find some difficulty in rooting for them, but in this case, I think we can all root for
absolutely
them. In a little bit, I wanted to pay tribute. I want to take a little moment today down at the press conference, and it's a full day. You had some volleyball, you had some basketball, you had some football. Mickey Joseph, Fred Hoiberg, John Cook all spoke today. Several players spoke today. And there were a couple of things that I wanted to pay tribute to while I could. Surprisingly, we don't know much about all of the Huskers. Like, we don't know them in full. And there's some interesting stories when you get past the base level of dealing with student athletes. Up first was Caleb Tanner, who Friday will tie a Husker record for most games played in a football career with 56. And he was asked about how his longevity became a thing. Like, how have you not been injured? And he says, well, you remember in year 1, I had shoulder surgery. Year 2, I had a different shoulder surgery. So I it's not that I've been uninjured, but I was lucky to get them early on. And then once I learned how to practice, and I learned, practice speed and practice intensity and learning how to do this, he goes, I stayed healthy. He goes, yeah, maybe I'm just a freak. Who knows? But he then went into detail talking about how much he loved Lincoln, Nebraska. How much he loved the University of Nebraska, how much he loved the people, the fans. He says, they've been in stadiums where the teams were winning and the stadiums were half filled. But here in Nebraska, the stadium was always full and the community was always welcoming. And I wanted to say this, that for a place in the middle of the country to be welcoming to people from other places and make them feel so at home, that this young man then began to just speak out in the highest and most glowing terms of how much he loved Lincoln, the University of Nebraska, and the fan base. That's when you know you've reached a special place, and a special sort of love, because he talked in loving terms about this program, this community, and this university. I was slightly sad that we didn't hear a lot of this before, but this is what happens when you get to senior days and folks begin to have those conversations. But the fact that Caleb Tanner took his time in front of the microphone today to simply say thank you and love you to Nebraska's fan base was important and special. And again, this is a young man that's played that will at the end of the day, Friday, would have played in more games than anybody. Nobody can say they played more games at Nebraska than Caleb Tanner. And for that sort of run and that sort of responsibility, I wanted to applaud him. I wanted to applaud the fan base for the things that he said and the reasons that he said it. But I wanted to shout out Caleb Tanner for his taking the microphone moment and simply saying thank you to Husker Nation. Another thing happened in that space that Maddie Kubik and Kenzie Knuckles both announced that this will be their last year playing volleyball at Nebraska. And they both had another year that they could play due to COVID. Could have played another year. But they both spoke on the responsibility of leadership. They're the captains, of course, and that with the group that's here that will be returning, the group that's coming, the new players that will be brought into the program, that these young players deserve the opportunity to lead in this program. And it was their feeling that it was time for them to get out of the way. Now, having known these two young ladies over the course of my time here, and I talked to Maddie after the presser, and we were just kind of chopping it up, and to tell her that when I first got here, one of the first athletes that popped to have people talk about and say, okay, if you want to know what a Nebraska athlete can be, look at the volleyball team and look at Maddie Kubik. And in my 4 years here, she and Kenzie have been in the spotlight. They arrived on campus together. They've grown in the program together. They've gone through some incredible volleyball moments together. And then they decided that they were going to leave together. And I'm not sure that when you look at Nebraska volleyball that we stop and applaud the program, the coaching staff, the players, because they're playing at such a high level constantly. And it's really cool to know that there's a place for them here to be celebrated. Because you've been at other college campuses and college towns, and they may not talk about the women's athletic programs, and they may certainly not talk about women's volleyball the way that they're talked about here. And when I got here, I was told, because I said, let's get them on air. And I was trying to pick, and we landed on Nicklin and Kenzie, and what an amazing pair they are. And we're not done with them either. Once their season is over, we'll bring them back and have them do some stuff, do some shows. But to have them come in and share themselves, their lives, their thoughts, their problems, their frictions, their solutions and answers with the fan base, I was just like, wow, what great ambassadors. And Maddie, and then it was Maddie and her sister, and we thought about, okay, can we put that show together? And then, we said, okay, it still didn't work, but she's always been available and accessible for us to talk to. What fantastic ambassadors Nebraska has in the student athletes. Carly being a perfect example that more people here should probably know more about Carly Sievers. Right?
I agree.
From
I certainly
right
agree.
In truth and absolution. One, for her to carry leadership from wherever she was planted. For her to excel in this space with it having meaning to her, personal meaning to her. And I have very few regrets in my time here. One regret that I have is that we did not create a program for Carly in this space because she needed to be heard. She deserved to be heard as a leader for a program that won the Big Ten Conference. And there's only 2 or 3 programs on the planet that last year on campus last year that could say they were Big Ten champions.
Right. Softball was one of them.
Right. I mean, was there anybody else?
I think that actually might have been the only one.
Right? So text line, let me know whether we're right or wrong. But
I know that was the first time that they had done it in program history. So they had won the Big 12 in the past, but that was the first time they had ever won the Big 10.
Right.
As a program.
Right. Like, I mean, just amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like that. A part of what we do is to highlight that stuff and put it on display and to give them opportunities.
Right.
And without Carly, we don't get the 2 softball shows that we have, the third that's coming. Like we don't have, shout out to John Squire, Bryce Harrell for always kind of feeding me softball information, local softball information. His daughter made All-State as a catcher, set the record for home runs in a season. There's such good people behind the games and inside the games. And I really get emotional when you start talking about the actual people who play the games that we care about, for the team that we care about. And that's the big stuff, right? That to continually be able to talk about and share those stories. Like I still want to have, I want to have Carly call in and just tell us about the people that are currently on the roster from her personal knowledge.
She's a leader. She knows them.
From her personal knowledge
Right.
in the space. So I wanted to just spend some time talking about these student athletes. We'll go to break. And in the final segment, we'll do 2 things. One, we'll talk to Nick Sainert before he heads back down to the stadium. But I wanted to talk about Casey Thompson because he shared some information today, which lets me further know that we were lucky to have him in the program. Lots to talk about, old school on a busy night here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School DPA on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Howe or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. I'm imagining the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills. Use the courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. And we're buying all mix and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle and pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. This line source.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. Experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefit, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Are you looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family to Lincoln's largest drive-through Christmas lights experience. This show features countless high-quality lights in vibrant colors, holiday props, and favorite characters of the season, all synchronized to music to enjoy in your car. Start a new holiday tradition this year and experience the magic of Nebraska Christmas Light Show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd, 5 p.m. to midnight. Purchase tickets today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Back to old school with DP and J.
Welcome back. We'll close out old school here, and then we'll hand it over to Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools. He's got a wonderful, wonderful collection of scholars and mentors and leaders and educators that are coming with him. They normally do this show Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock here on the Ticket. But tonight we're going to go live tonight, and then they're going to record, and then they'll run it again. And if you want to find out and you want to hear all the good things that happen in Lincoln Public Schools, hang tight. Bigger than the score. That's what's happening. We'll do two things here real quick. One, I want to talk about Casey Thompson and his day today and some of the things that were said. Of course, he spoke on the things that are required for this program to have success, and he went into great detail. You can find that tape online, and you really should, because it's his awareness and his intelligence is off the charts. But he was also asked about his academic career, his time, and he got his degree from Texas in sports management, and then once he got here, he took a master's program, 1-year master's program in applied sciences. How do we not know that about Casey Thompson? How do we not know that this kid is so driven that in 7th grade, his counselor said, you know what, we need to get you into high school classes so that you can graduate early, graduated 3.5 years in both high school and college.
And now he's going to have a master's.
And now I have a master's degree. And then if he comes back another year, he'll have another master's degree. that he wants to build a facility with the greatest of elite technology and elite teachers for young people and for athletes to go and train. It'll have daycare in it, and he'll have the best teachers, the best technology, and a young man who was known early on. He talked about coaching and that he would love to coach, but he did all the things you have to deal with as a coach. And that sort of awareness is sitting in Nebraska's football program. Somebody that wouldn't be outworked, somebody that won't be outprepared, somebody that will put in the work. And he's here in Nebraska's program. And no matter what the record says, that's a young man you can be proud of.
I agree.
And
lucky to have him.
To hear him speak on it today was just impressive and mind-blowing. I was always a fan of the young man. I was a fan of his dad, but I was a fan of the young man and what his preparation, how he goes about it, and how he leads. He said he'll make a decision based on what happens with the coaching position, and albeit well done, young man, that he's put himself. He's got that sort of awareness about what's going on around him. Just quality stuff.
Yeah,
just quality stuff.
He's a good kid.
But again, we should know more about this young man. That shouldn't come at the end of in week 12. We should know this about this young man early on, and
all of them.
We
too.
should highlight,
there's
right? Like
plenty of great kids.
So
in the
many
program.
great stories, right? There's
right.
so many great stories that we don't hear. But as a part of our mission, is to bring you those stories. Everybody talks about the box score, and we have time for that, and we will honor that. But it is the young people who play the games who make those scores matter. And when you talk about the University of Nebraska and you talk about the athletic program, you should be talking about the scholars within it. You should be talking about the people in it, because it's the people in the athletic program that make the athletic program matter. That's just me, and that's how I roll. Don't go anywhere tonight. Again, Nick Sainer back on the job. He and Jay Foreman, Husker Hall of Fame, are going to call tonight's state championship game. Kickoff around 7:30-ish. But up next, Peter Ferguson, Lincoln Public Schools, Bigger Than the Score. He'll bring you some of Lincoln Public Schools' finest. And you want to feel good about what's happening in your community? Stay tuned. Peter Ferguson will let you know what that is. Harrison Orange, you'll man the board. Appreciate you, young man, for what you do. Y'all be cool. Don't go anywhere. I'll talk to you from Orlando tomorrow. I'm out. Deuces.